Right, lads. Now, the key thing with 3D diagrams is to identify when you're on level ground and when you're not on level ground. Does that make sense? Alright. So, what you're told is find PY. PY is the green line. Now, what triangle does PY belong to? Anybody? PY belongs to PXY. Is that right? PXY. So, in a way, what you're sort of training your mind to do, and some people aren't great at this, which is okay, but what you're trying to train your mind to do is to blank out anything that's distracting you. So if I do this, that's essentially what you're dealing with there. Just that right angle triangle. Okay? Now, what line is the green line? Adjacent or opposite? What line is the 200? So what function are you going to use? Tan 48 equals 200, call it x, is that okay? I know x is already in use, but just for argument's sake, call it x. Now how do we get x on its own? 200 over what, guys? Tan 48. And what is 200 over tan 48? Uh, 180.08. Okay, so to the nearest meter, 180. Is that cool with you guys? Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the next one, and this is harder to block out because it's sort of at an angle. Okay, so if you will. So do you see what I have left there? Now what type of triangle is this, even though it doesn't really look like it? It's actually also a right angle triangle. Because you gotta remember, XY is going straight up, and XY is going straight up, and YQ is on ground level, so that makes that 90 degrees. Is that okay? So what length are we looking for? We're looking for QY, which is the blue length, okay? Now what can we say about QY? We'll call it adjacent to A, is that alright? So what are we going to say this time? Tan 34 equals what? 200 over A. And then A equals what? 200 over tan 34. And what is 200 over tan 34? Huh? 200 and? 297. Is that okay with you guys? 297. Now, what else does it want from me then? It says the angle PYQ. So, what triangle is PYQ? Does everybody see it there? And PYQ is this triangle here. P, Y and Q, they're all on the ground level. Do you get what I'm saying? P, Y, Q are all on the ground level. Okay, and X, Y is sticking upwards, alright? And what you're saying is that's a flat triangle, as if you drew a triangle on a page. That's what P, Y, Q represents, okay? Now what angle are you looking for? What's the center letter? Y. So you're looking for this angle here. So if you will, this is a flat triangle, and you're looking for this angle here. Now what you already know, you know that's 84. You know that PY is what? 180. You know QY is 297, and you're currently after the red line here. The red line is P to Q. What rule should you use if you have side angle sides? Cosine rule. Okay. Has anybody done any 3D ones online? I think it was my most recent class before I came back. Great. Now, let's keep going. What letter do you want to represent PQ? Pick a letter that hasn't been used yet. Call it m. M squared equals 180 squared plus 297 squared minus 2 times 180 times 297 cos 84. Lads, be good and lob all that into the calculator and square root it for me. So what do we get m squared as? Sorry, a bit louder.
109.
Yeah.
432.
432. Point what?
8161.
Square root it. 330. Yeah. Is that a decent answer? Is 84 more than likely the largest angle in that triangle? It is, isn't it? It's unlikely that the other two are larger than it, because it's 84 out of 180 is already taken up, and the other two sides aren't. Yeah, it's more than likely the largest side in that triangle, so yeah, that works out. Is that all you asked for? Okay. This one here. Now once again, don't get bogged down in the diagram. The diagram is really confusing, alright? So put blue points on the ones that are at ground level. Does everybody see that these points, A, B, C, D, they're all flat on the ground, okay? They're all like a piece of paper. And F and E are in the air. Does that make sense? F and E are 90 degrees straight up. So if I ask you what's the angle FAB, what do you think the angle FAB is? 90. What do you think the angle EDC is? What do you think the angle EDB is? ED to B. Also 90. When you go from a point that's above the ground and then you link to 2 points that are on the ground, that's always 90 degrees. Does everybody get that? The blue points are on the ground, the red points are above the ground. And if you have a red point that links onto 2 blue points, that means that triangle is going to be right angled. Okay? Now, what does it want from us? What's ABF? A to B to F. Alright, no bother. What type of triangle is that? It's right angled. That's 9, that's 27. And ABF is this angle here. So what function are you going to use? Equals tan inverse it. Cool. Okay. Joe, what do you think about the length of A to C? Now, you know AB and you know BC, don't you?
Yeah.
A, B, and C, are they all on the same level? Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. A, B, and C are all on the same level. It also states that it's a rectangle. So what does that mean about A, B, and C? What type of triangle is it?
Right angle.
Because it's a rectangle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, what theorem would get you the answer?
Pythagoras.
Yeah, I think if we do Pythagoras' theorem for AC, we're in business. So let's do that now. Alright, 17 squared plus 27 squared, and then square root the answer. What did you get? Damn, we got 31.91, is it? Alright. Happy days. 31.91. Right, let's keep moving. ACF, lads. What about ACF? What type of triangle is ACF? F is above ground, A and C are what? Level ground. So what type of angle is that then? Oh, so what type of triangle is it? Well, it's not, sorry, so ACF, alright? F is above ground, it's a red point. A and C are blue points that are on level ground. What does that mean about this angle here? Has to be a right angle. Do we know the length of A to C? What is it? 31.9, okay. What else do we know? What? Oh, we got A to F, did we? Which is? 9. And what does it want from us? Wants ACF, doesn't it? So how do you do this one, Joe? Tag's theorem will get you the length, which is grand, but I'm after the angle. It's a right angle triangle, so think SOHCAHTOA. Which function do you want to use? Sine, cos, or tan? Tan. So tan what?
Tan x
Equals?
9
Over?
31.9.
Yeah. So tan inverse that then, yeah? And what do we get? 15.75. Is that okay with you guys? Alright. Mooney. Key thing here, lads. Once again, put blue points. Put blue points on the parts that are at ground level. Would everybody happy that A, B, C, and D is it's a square at ground level? Does that make sense? So, Joe, if you were here and you run a lap of the pyramid, you run a lap of a square around its outer edge, right? So, we're all happy with that, and we all know that it's 2x, 2x, and 2x. Okay? Now, there's only one point above ground, that's called a point E. Any triangle involving E will be what? Why will it be right angles? And we call this point F. Yeah, so F is on level ground as well, isn't it? So EFB is right angled, EFC is right angled, EFA is also right angled. Does everybody get that? It's right angled no matter what. 1 above ground, 2 on ground. Has to be right angled, right? Now next thing. The length of each of the slant edges is 8 root 3. So EC is 8 root 3. EB is 8 root 3. EA is 8 root 3. And ED is also 8 root 3. Is that cool with you guys? Now, hence find the height of the pyramid. We're trying to find out what EF is. Does that make sense? Now let's write down any triangle involving EF. Let's go for EFC. What angle is EFC? 90. Great. What length is EC? What side do we not know? We don't know F to C. What's the goal of the question? Find E to F, because E to F is the height of the pyramid. If we find out what FC is, we're in business. What's the location of F? Dead center of the square. Does that make sense? Alright, next thing. We want F to C, don't we? Is everybody happy with that? What could I do with this triangle here? Would everybody agree it's right angled? What would be the length and width of that triangle? Because it's dead center, you have the length and you have the width. So what can I say it is? It's just x and x. And this is FC right here. So what's FC squared? Huh? So FC squared is x squared plus x squared. Oh, I get what you did there, but it's just representing the length of FC. So you don't actually square it out to f squared c squared, alright? So the length of FC is 2x squared. Are you happy with that? Square root it. What happens when you square root it? What happens when you square root this? You square root the 2 and you square root the x squared, and what answer do you get? Root 2x. Everybody happy so far? Now, let's go back. What does it tell you about the height of the pyramid? It's actually x. And this here is root 2x. So would anybody know how to finish this off? Just using this information here. What would you do? Pythagoras' theorem. And what is root 2x squared? We had it a minute ago. What's root 2x multiplied by root 2x? Root 2 by root 2 is 2. X by x is x squared. And what's 8 root 3 by 8 root 3? I think it's 192. Is it? Right. And 192 equals what? 3x squared? And then what's x squared then? And then x equals 8. That wasn't too bad, was it? So what's that? 3, 4 and 9 are done, are they? Alright, I'll keep going because I know the lads at home there probably need to do some stuff as well. Alright, Joe, pick another hard question. Anything below 9?
12.
12, alright. Okay. I've started, this is a new technique I've used this year. Anything on ground level in blue, anything above ground level in red. Now, here's an odd one for you. Are they on the same level, RS and T? Are RS and T on the same level? If you were standing here, what would you feel? You'd feel like you're getting pushed downhill, wouldn't you? Because the two of them are at 4. If you're standing here, you're grand. You can walk straight across as normal because they're both at the same height, aren't they? But if you're up here, you're feeling like you're starting off at 6 meters and you end up at 4 meters above ground. Is that alright? So they are at different heights. So be aware of that, okay? Now what's it giving us? It's just giving us a pile of lengths, isn't it? Find the area of the shelter ABC. What does it mean by, does that just mean find the area, oh sorry, just find the area of imagine you're outside in the fields and there's 3 massive poles supporting a tent like structure. If you're in this region on level ground, what does that mean? Would you be rained on if you're in this region here? No, because you'd be protected from above, right? So that's what it means by the area of the shelter ABC. It means what is the shelter region, okay? So, okay. Anybody know how to do this? What? Oh, you can do a half base times height. Why are you allowed to do a half base times height in this scenario? You're only allowed to do a half base times heights when it's an isosceles or an equilateral triangle. Is this isosceles? So what does that mean? 10, 10, cut it in half. This would be 6, isn't it? So what's that? 3 and 3. Calculate the height H. How'd you do that? Pythagoras. 10 squared equals 3 squared plus h squared. H squared equals 100 take away 9 is 91. H equals root 91. Is that okay with you guys? Now, next thing. You said a half base times height for the area, didn't you? So what's the base? The base is 6. And what's the height? Root 91. So it's going to be a half 6 times root 91. What's that in the calculator?
3 root 21.
And in decimals?
28.61.
28.61 meters squared. Alright. Next one's a bit more difficult. Right, next one's awkward. Alright? But we're well able. Now, it's sort of killed in a way. Anybody have any suggestions? I'm going to have to construct something here, so does anybody have any suggestions what I might do?
You say S to T is still 6 meters?
Yes. S to T is still 6 meters. Alright, so what we have is, we have the triangle RST, agreed? And you currently know that S to T is 6 meters. Okay, anything else? What's the distance from, what's this blue distance here?
2 meters.
Huh?
2 meters.
6 take away 4, which is 2. Alright, what's this distance here? From A to S, straight across. Sorry, technically the diagram shouldn't look like that. Technically the diagram should look like that. That's right angled though. And I'll explain why it's right angled. Because this length here is 4. So they're at the same level as each other. The 3 red dots are at the same level as each other, in the same way the 3 blue dots are at the same level as each other. So that would make that a right angled triangle. From, or I need a new letter. Any suggestions? P. So RPS is a triangle where PS is at the same level. Okay? So what does that mean? 2, and what distance is it here? P to S? What system are we going to use? So what's R to S then? So call it, so x squared equals 10 squared plus square root of 104, is it? Chatty, yeah. What's root 104, lads?
26.
What?
2 root 26.
Alright. Now what's the good news? Anybody care to give me some good news? Why don't we have to calculate RT? Why is it the same? Yeah, it's the exact same measurements. It's still 10 meters, gap underneath, and it's still 4 meters high. So it's exactly the same sizes, isn't it? And because it's an isosceles triangle, what can we do then?
Half base height.
We can do half base times height. Only one problem. Do we know the height? Any suggestions on how to get the height H? What you do with the 6? So what we're going to say, 3 squared plus h squared equals 2 root 26 squared. And what happens when we multiply that out? What's 4 times 26?
104.
And h equals square root of 95. Okay. So a half base times height this time, lads, for this triangle here. What do you reckon? So a half 6 times, so what's the height?
Root 95.
Yeah, go for it. What do we get?
3 root 95.
In decimals?
29.24
Meters
square.
squared. Alright guys, so in today's class I did 12, 9, 3, 4, 9, 12. For tonight yourselves, 2, 5, 8 and 11. Okay?